We have a big story coming.
Thank you, Oberlin Weekly, for all the support.
How you doing, Oberlin Weekly?
Oberlin Weekly is the place to be.
Real Oberlin stories, real Oberlin people.
Last summer, I met the Oberlin Fire Chief, Chief Handmer. He came to speak to me at a conference, the Ohio Fire Chiefs Conference, because I presented on electrification. No one had ever presented on electrification to a fire conference in the state of Ohio before. And he came up to me and said, the only thing I've only heard from only one fire chief, him, which was, I'm going to have to look at an electric fire truck because if they're available, my council's most likely going to tell me I have to. They're shaking their heads, yes, you will. And he said, I have no idea how to make that happen. So we're hopefully going to be able to help him with that. But in anticipation of hopefully having my company help fire chief be able to make that happen, I did a little research about Oberlin. And that's why I'm really, really happy to recognize them tonight. I don't know if you realize it, but in my opinion, having looked at a lot of municipalities in this state, they're not a leader, they are the leader in municipalities in Ohio, and possibly one of the leaders, top 2, 3 in the country. Because they've had climate goals for more than 2 decades, and they've accomplished goals. Most cities set goals and they try to start working on them. A lot of them are talking about it now. Oberlin's already doing it and having done it, and now we're going to do some more. So Oberlin's very impressive to me. In 2011, they cut their goal was to cut greenhouse gases by 50%. Did they do it? Yeah, by 2015, done. Now they're going to cut it by 50% again. Are they doing it? Yeah, they're doing it right now. I think you're almost there. We're like really, really close. 100% renewable energy every day because they're using renewable sources. Still having to put some burning involved and some things to make it go. It's not perfect yet, but boy, are they so far ahead of everybody else, which makes them obviously an eligible award winner for a community this year for green energy. And the one thing I want to emphasize is that you don't know how good a goal is until you hear their goal. So I'm going to read it. Committed to reducing community-wide greenhouse gases below 0. Not 0, less than 0. So they're going to take it away from everybody else, which means they're going to make everybody else better too. So I don't know if I can find a city with a better example than Oberlin, which is why it's my pleasure to present the Community Green Achievement Award for 2022 to the City of Oberlin. And with us tonight, we have Kristen Peterson in the back, Councilmember Elizabeth Meadows, Council President Brian Burgess, Rob Hillard, the City Manager, and the one who makes it all happen, the Council Clerk, Belinda Anderson, and her lovely husband. Did she stay? She left. Oh, there she is. Oh, yeah. And her lovely husband, who had as much fun as my wife did tonight. So, on behalf of the city, Brian Burgess will be accepting the award on behalf of the City of Oberlin. And the podium is yours.
Wonderful. Thank you. I've been waiting a while to do that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's absolutely correct. Oberlin's been at this for over 2 decades. In 2001, Oberlin City Council passed a resolution declaring sustainability to be at the center of Oberlin's government. So whether we are buying a new fire truck, we're building a new fire station, buying new garbage trucks, or looking at police cruisers, or thinking about remodeling the heating system in City Hall, whatever we do in Oberlin, we're thinking about how is that going to impact the city's climate emissions going into the future, and how does that impact the residents of Oberlin? You know, sustainability is often seen as an expensive proposition. You're doing what you're doing now, but you sort of tack on sustainability things. Sometimes I'll call it a green badge of courage. Look what we did. We installed a solar array. Look what we did. We just bought an electric car. You know, climate change is real and it's happening, and the effects of climate change are affecting residents in our community, the residents who can least afford those impacts. We see wild swings in temperature, polar vortexes in the winter, and long heat waves in the summertime. What's it like to live in a second floor apartment in the summer when it's 100 degrees, 90 degrees outside, and it's 120 up in your apartment? They'll go to Walmart and buy a cheap window air conditioner, plug it in, and then the next month they get an electric bill from the city for $400 or $500. They can't afford that. And so we had to think, you know, there's more to sustainability than what we can do to City Hall. How can we distribute that equitably across the city? So there's providing energy and then there's saving energy. And we sort of did that in reverse. We provided the energy first. So Oberlin owns its own electric utility, and because of that, we can specify the sources of that electricity. So as of today, we are 85% carbon neutral, and we make up the remainder by purchasing renewable energy certificates. So that is to say we are 100% carbon neutral. 85% of that is due to contracts that we've signed or assets that we own. Some of those owned assets we will own indefinitely. Run-of-the-river hydro projects, for example, that will be fully functional for the next 75 to 100 years. Just this past month, Oberlin City Council signed on to another solar energy project through American Municipal Power, AMP, one of our partner organizations, to do a distributed solar project. This is really pretty cool. We might have a cloudy day here in Oberlin, but in Columbus it's sunny. Maybe it's cloudy in Columbus, but in Wheeling, West Virginia it's sunny. So what if a bunch of cities band together, we invest in a distributed solar array such that every investor gets a percentage of the output from that solar array. And if it's cloudy in Oberlin, but it's sunny in Columbus, then we're still generating and we're still receiving credit for some of that solar electricity. So this contract that we're signing on to, this is going to provide another 3% of the energy for the city of Oberlin. That's really cool. Now we would love to host another solar array here in Oberlin. The biggest one right now was installed by Oberlin College about 10 years ago. So we want to find a way to make that happen. But as I said previously, generating energy is only a part of our strategy. It's also saving energy. How can we help people reduce their utility bills? So the city hired a sustainability coordinator. She's wonderful, Linda Arbogast. We couldn't do it without her. It's a full-time job just to try to, you know, when we're trying to help residents, everybody has a different story. Everybody lives in a different type of house. People have different socioeconomic situations. How do we help a tenant who doesn't own the house? How do we help that tenant save electricity? How do we help a family who is below the community poverty line? How can they afford to do a $5,000 or $10,000 energy retrofit on their house? Or should we help someone who lives in a $500,000 house in Oberlin? We wanted to make sure that sustainability was a goal that anybody could reach. We hired a sustainability energy advocate. His name is Chris Jones. Chris goes out into the community and meets with homeowners and property owners. We retrofit about 25 houses per year in Oberlin. So that's 25 houses per year through an assistance program to help the lower income folks in the community be able to afford these things. We've achieved our electricity goals. The next major component of carbon emissions in Oberlin is heating. Space heating, water heating, it's heating. Oberlin is predominantly, like most of Ohio, Oberlin is heated by natural gas. And so now, the goal of our climate action plan is in fuel switching. So whether that's replacing a natural gas furnace with an energy efficient mini split heat pump, installing a heat pump water heater to replace an old natural gas boiler, or replacing gasoline-powered vehicles in the city with plug-in electric vehicles or plug-in hybrids. I've inherited this role. As I said, this has been going on since 2001. We've instilled a culture of sustainability in Oberlin. And I'm fully convinced that when I'm no longer on this stage and the next person's up here, that the community will continue toward those goals. We have made sustainability the default in Oberlin. And I wish that every community could do that. So thank you. Thank you on behalf of the City of Oberlin.
What a wonderful event. Oberlin being honored with a Green Energy Ohio Award for the city is a big honor. How do you feel about that?
You know, it's truly a unique honor and opportunity for Oberlin to receive this award. It's done through the spirit and magnitude of our citizens, of course, the leadership of our city council, and the support of our administration to make a true difference in the area of environmental sustainability.
Yeah, I was listening to all the different projects and partnerships that the city has going on, and I got to tell you, I'm truly impressed, and I can't wait to learn more. And I'm going to get with your team, and we're going to learn a lot more about projects coming, projects happening, accomplishments already done. I mean, there's a bright future for Oberlin.
You know, what's so exciting about this, not only the award and the differences that we're making, but the leadership that is provided. I was talking to some of our colleagues in the presentation, and they're not only congratulating Oberlin on what we're doing, but the leadership that it's providing. So I'm just humbled by this, proud and pleased to work for a city that cares deeply about environmental sustainability.
Well, thank you very much, Rob. It's a pleasure, and congratulations again. You and your team do an excellent job here.
Well, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate your support.
Thank you. I'm here with Mr. Brian Burgess, President of Oberlin City Council. You guys received the Green Energy Ohio for the City of Oberlin for your outstanding work that you've been doing to really push forward the sustainability of what we do for our energy consumption, reduce our carbon neutral footprint, all kinds of other things. What is the real drive for you guys to make that, vision a reality?
We've seen that there's a business case to be made for sustainability. We can help people save money on their monthly utility bills by helping them reduce their energy consumption. And we've had this added benefit of finding that renewable energy in the city's portfolio is actually lower cost than the carbon-based energy that we had used previously. So not only are we reducing our carbon footprint, if that motivates you, we're also saving money, if that motivates you. And I think we're providing a sense of a community. This is a project that we've worked on together for over 20 years. And so there's a pride in a community accomplishment.
That's a great point. I know partnerships with the college, partnerships with other organizations that are driving this mission, the returns are coming. There is a reduction in like electric usage at the new elementary school. There's reductions in water. There's a reduction in electrical use. I think 80% of the electrical usage at that school is all solar now. Like, those are big gains. Those are realizations of your investment and you and your team's hard work and your partnerships. And I just want to say congratulations on the City of Oberlin of winning this award. And is there anything you want to share with the community?
Well, as you said, it's based on partnerships. We're here on Oberlin College's campus tonight because we've been partners with the college for 20 years. We've been partners with the public schools for longer than 20 years. We've been partners with Oberlin Community Services, churches in town. We see it as a goal that benefits everyone. And so I think everyone in the city can be proud of this award.
Well, thank you very much, sir, and it's a pleasure to speak to you, Mr. Brian Burgess, City Council President. I'm here with Jane Harf, Executive Director of Green Energy Ohio. Jane, what do you think about the City of Oberlin?
I am so pleased to be here. This is a fabulous building. It's a fabulous university campus. And what the city has done is truly extraordinary. We were very pleased to be able to give awards to both the college and to the city. And as we heard tonight from Council President Burgess, they are looking at absolutely every aspect of sustainability and climate. They're addressing climate. It's great.
I really appreciate your presentation and learning so many partnerships that your organization has that are doing so much, not just throughout the small cities, but the whole state, and even partnering states, and really all across wherever you can reach. You're building partnerships, you're building a following to make green energy more sustainable, more obtainable, and really getting those results back in.
You have to do it with partners. You can't. Nobody can do it by themselves. And there are so many great nonprofits out in this space. We honored several of them tonight. There are companies, again, like Gojo and others that we have honored. And you know, we all have to pull in the same direction. The communities, the academic environments, everyone has to do their part. And I think that's what Green Energy Ohio would like to see, is to have everyone, wherever they are, whatever their business, whatever their purpose, their mission, to take into account that clean energy is the future and that we need to make Ohio a leader in that regard.
Yes, and this was a very successful night with many of the 2021 and 2022 award winners here. First of all, I want to say on behalf of City of Oberlin, thank you very much for visiting us and letting us be the host for this year's award ceremony. And thank you again for all the work you do. And if anyone wants to learn more about your organization, what can they do?
They can go to our website, greenenergyohio.org. They can call me. My name and number and email are on the website. We have lots of information there. We would love to have new members, new supporters. We're unique because we not only have businesses as members and nonprofit organizations, but we also have individuals who join and support. The Friends of Geo, sort of like the public radio has friends. We have many, many friends, and we welcome anyone to join that community.
Well, thank you very much, Jane, Executive Director of Green Energy Ohio. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
And appreciate it.